In today's news, Mr. Rodney Simmonds Sr. and Andrew Skerritt have been identified as men who died at the East End Methodist Church honors stalwart preachers in Black History Month. And of course, we continue to monitor the COVID-19 situation across the region.
Now, young professionals are encouraged to consider a career in guidance counseling, as well as we span across regionally to St. Kitts and Nevis, where we see them working towards food security. All this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Hey, Johnson, what's up? Well, you look like you're about to pass out.
I think I am. But anyhow.
Cho, what are you doing?
Remember last year when I spoke to you over the phone? When I said, well. Anyhow, ever since that moment, I was wanting to take this step further with you.
OMG, Johnson!
I want to know if you, Via, would officially have me as your sales rep with a friend.
What?
To get live with our February promotions.
Huh?
Get live, get love, and get gifted. Bring a friend to CCT to sign up for a Freedom Plan. Take a picture with them in the store and post to social media with the hashtag GetLiveCCT. Then put your receipt with your number in the golden basket and wait on a call from Jante. First place gets $500 each. Second place, matching Samsung Galaxy A30s. And third place, $150 shopping vouchers each to one mark.
So are you really saying?
Really? And I could bring a friend too?
More the merrier.
Welcome, everybody. It's Monday, February 8th, 2021. I'm Ron Grant.
And I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes, and we are coming to you live straight out of Tortola,
Yes,
British Virgin Islands.
Of course, before we get into today's newscast, we want to touch on some quick summary topics. Of course, the UK is set to cover medical bills for any side effects from the vaccine that has been provided in the British Virgin Islands, and the deadline to pay severance to lay off employees has been further extended once again.
Now we see where Sabre Rock is now trying to open, and they are having a job fair coming up.
Wonderful
so now
stuff.
This is something that our viewers can look forward to. Now on February 23rd, there's a job fair at the Sugar Cane Restaurant in Nail Bay. They are looking for restaurant help, kitchen bar help, housekeeping, retail, front desk, grounds, deck hands, and so much more.
Yes.
I think this is a very important story and a job fair for the people of the Virgin Islands. Now, we've been going through quite so much with our economic,
Yes.
and how here we see Sabre Rock getting ready to open back up. So this is definitely exciting things for our tourism product, but as well as jobs here in the BVI.
Most definitely, we encourage our interested persons to please apply and take advantage of this opportunity. Now, continuing on the local scene, on a very sad note, we're picking up from a story that we left off on Friday. Officials of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force have officially named the victims of Friday's deaths, which are being termed as a suspected murder-suicide. They are prominent BVI businessman and horse race enthusiast Mr. Rodney Simmonds, popularly known as Mileage of Thread Falls, and Mr. Andrew Skerritt of Carrot Bay, Tortola. Mr. Simmonds was found and pronounced dead at his home, while the body of Mr. Skerritt was also found and pronounced dead at his home, one in Thread Falls and the other in Carrot Bay. Now, while suspicions loom as to what exactly has led to this incident, community members are seemingly calling it a tale of passion. Detectives of the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force say they are actively continuing their investigations into these circumstances which led to their deaths. Officials say both fatal shootings are believed to be related and do not pose a threat to the wider BVI community. The deaths are also the first of its kind for 2021. Additionally, we want to employ persons in the community who may have any information regarding the deaths of either of these gentlemen to please contact the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force Investigation Unit. And we're, of course, going to have more details to follow on this story. And we once again want to wish the families and friends of these individuals our sincere condolences. You are in our thoughts and prayers.
Most definitely, as you said, this is a continuation as we have gotten more details
Correct.
on this gruesome ordeal.
And one of the things, Kyla, I want to highlight to the viewing audience is that it's important and imperative for them to understand that in the midst of such tragic incidents, we are fully aware of most times the names and identities of these individuals, but it is imperative that we give the general public and the families time to be not only alerted but informed and such. That's why you have to wait for official response in regards to who these individuals are.
Most definitely. Now, as we move forward, the Chief Education Officer in the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth Affairs, Fisheries, and Agriculture, Mrs. Connie George, is encouraging professionals who are interested in the ministry's counseling program to submit applications for consideration. Now, during the ministry's A Chat with the Community program, Mrs. George said, and I quote, "Submit your applications if you would like to become a counselor in our schools. We do have some open positions and we would love to know that you would love to join us." End quote. Now, counselors across the territory celebrated the National School Counseling Week 2021 and informed the public on their roles as school counselors. Now, Counselor Mr. Jacob Edwards, which you have seen in that photo just gone now, said that his former school counselor inspired him to take up the profession with the motivation that he received. Now, Mr. Edwards said, and I quote, "What drove me to become a counselor was mentorship." Now, Mr. Sylvester Smith, counselor, has been one of my mentors from high school days, and to see that I am actually here working with him as a colleague shows that it sparked a positive energy, and that is why I am here today. Now, applications can be submitted to the ministry's office on the 3rd floor of the Wards building or by email to mec@gov.vg. Now, as we were saying before, National School Counseling Week 2021 was observed under the theme School Counselors All In for All Students. The week was focused on a unique contribution of school counselors in the Virgin Islands and highlighted the positive impact school counselors have in helping students achieve emotional growth and career planning. Now, Ron, I think this is something that goes unsaid, but I'm happy to see the Chief Education Officer really advocating for persons who may be interested. I think persons may not be aware of how fulfilling such a career in counseling or school counseling can be. But we see here Mr. Edwards, a very young man in our community, saying, "Hey, I watched my school counselor when I was in high school, and now I am here giving back in the same way."
Well, Kyla, I think it's imperative. One of the things that I love about this story is that we have young men and older men who are charting the course as it pertains to the guidance of our students. I sat down with Mrs. Shonda George and Miss Bisa Smith to climax the Counselors Week, and they also reiterated how much of an important role that it still takes a village to raise a child. So we employ persons who are of a sound quality and educational background who might be interested in really lending to this need to really contact the ministry. And we congratulate again the counselors. A very tough task. We cannot withstand that. A very tough task. Viewers, still ahead, East End Methodist Church, they honor stalwart preachers in honor of Black History Month. And of course, we're going to cover a story over in St. Kitts and Nevis. They make an investment into food security. All this and more when 284 News returns.
The win! Oh!
What are the hell?
I'm freaking out!
Is time.
284 News.
Coming to you live and direct from the beautiful British Virgin Islands.
What's poppin'? What's really good? What's happening? What's happening? What's up?
Davis has won it for the Lakers!
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Viewers, welcome back. Now on the local scene, continuing, the East End Methodist Church here in Tortola, British Virgin Islands, celebration Black History Month, celebrated the contributions of three stalwarts who served as local preachers. That's Reginald Maxwell Penn. He was represented by his grandson William Osborne, Alexandrina Elizabeth Maduru, Fret, represented by her son Conrad Maduru, and Willard Wheatley, represented by his son Douglas Wheatley and his grandson Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley. Now, presentations were made to these family members of these three very notable persons who have served, Kyla, in the Methodist Church as preachers, but they also, I must admit, served in a myriad of capacities.
Yes.
Alexandrina was a well-known educator,
Yes.
same as Mr. Willard Wheatley, and we also, of course, remember the contributions of Mr. Maxwell Smith. Now, when we think of Black history, viewers, it is oftentimes looked at on the international scene when it comes to the United States, and we want to make sure that persons here in the British Virgin Islands really understand the contribution of those persons locally. We think of Mr. Noah Lloyd, the Honorable H. Lavity Stout, and many other persons who have made significant contributions. Now, at that presentation and the honoring service was the Health Minister, the Honorable Carvin Malone, and really solidified. So we want to take this time out, and you can expect us to really highlight the contributions of local Virgin Islanders as we progress through the month of February. In addition, this weekend, the African Studies also held their 13th annual African Remembrance Celebration and wreath-laying ceremony in honor of Black History Month. Quite a noteworthy event. It was quite an event. If you missed it, be sure to check out our Facebook page where we restreamed that event.
Of course. Now, Ron, I would like to echo your sentiments. I think that when we speak about Black History Month, we look across to the U.S. and other bigger nations, but I think
nothing's wrong with that.
And nothing is wrong with that, but I think highlighting what has been done in the BVI and the persons who have really forged the way for us, I think that is very important in really knowing whence we came.
I agree.
And I think that's very important. So I'm very happy to see the Methodist Church, which was a crucial part of just the communityness back in the day.
And still is.
Still is. So I'm really happy to see that. Now, regionally, the St. Kitts and Nevis Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and Marine Resources is working towards its goal of increased food production and security within the Federation. That's according to Minister Alex Jeffers. Now, during the ministry's annual review and agenda meeting on February 4th, he said his vision, and I quote, seeks to stimulate greater economic growth in the agricultural sector through the development of a well-coordinated planning and implementation framework that is interactive and effective, end quote. Now, according to Minister Jeffers said there exists today greater opportunity for expanded food and enterprise development in St. Kitts and Nevis. He said, and I quote, expanding access to fresh, healthy, locally grown products enhance the ability of our families, schools, and institutions to serve nutritiously balanced meals, end quote. Now, he further explained that his ministry's vision speaks to the view that the country's agricultural sector can be technologically driven, competitive, and market-oriented, and can contribute to national development. Now, I think this is a very important story because I think much Caribbean countries, including the BVI, can learn from where the St. Kitts and Nevis is trying to go as it pertains to food security.
We could learn a lot, Kyla. We've been speaking about the importance of agriculture here in the territory, and unfortunately, to date, we have not gotten very far. When we look at the global pandemic, that of course is COVID-19, and the strain that has put, also natural disasters that come at any a given time, we do have to really and truly look at the accountability in regards to making sure that the territory is being securely the needs of the territory being
Right.
met when it comes to food security. And I don't think that we've been paying much attention to that as much as we should. So we're happy to see St. Kitts and Nevis being a really good example.
Agreed. I think that we have seen our current government of the day and past governments trying to invest in other sectors. But I think we have to stress how important the agricultural sector is to sustain a country in general.
Well, the Foy administration, once taking office, they added quite a myriad of responsibilities to the education, including agriculture.
Yes.
But we have yet to see something come out of that. So we hope that the Honorable Minister's portfolio will not go in vain.
Agreed. Now, still ahead, viewers, a look at COVID-19 in the region, as well as Tesla, a major automaker, invests billions in Bitcoin.
Yes.
That is
Quite
the
an
digital
story.
currency. Now, viewers, you don't want to miss this. We are 284 News, and we'll be right back.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Viewers, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. You're watching 284 News out of Tortola in the beautiful British Virgin Islands. Now, continuing on the regional scene, a look at COVID-19 across the region as we continue to look closely at the COVID-19 situation, which has continued to grapple and really put a strain on the region. St. Lucia has now confirmed an additional 35 cases of COVID-19. Now, this is from a batch of 126 COVID-19 tests conducted at the Ezra Long Laboratory, from which 35 positive and 91 negative tests were recorded. Now, this brings the total number of cases diagnosed in the country to date to 656. Now, all of these cases are St. Lucian nationals, ranging from the ages of 14 to 66. They also come from a variety of communities in St. Lucia, and they were all seen at a community respiratory clinic where they were assessed and tested for COVID-19. In addition, they were then placed in quarantine by health practitioners pending their COVID-19 test. St. Lucia has also reported 7 recoveries within the past week, and there are 310 active cases in care, with one of them requiring critical care, and the others are all stable. Now, continuing on, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, officials have confirmed that 67 new COVID-19 cases from samples collected between the 26th of January to February 5th have returned. One of those cases were imported from the U.S. and was detected on screening between day 7 and day 10. 3 cases were detected during the exit screening. The remainder of the cases were detected during the contact tracing and testing, of course, of persons with flu-like symptoms and other symptoms. There are now 1,119 local cases of COVID-19 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And unfortunately, an 88-year-old male is the 4th person to die from COVID-19 in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The hypertensive patient was admitted on the 28th, 2020, and then died on February 6th. from secondary pneumonia of COVID-19. Now, 8 more persons have been cleared, bringing the number of total recoveries to 409. 856 cases remain active and 4,269 cases of COVID-19 have been reported in St. Vincent and the Grenadines since March of 2020. Kyla, it is quite a daunting task as we look across the region as countries and territories continue to grapple with the COVID-19. I mean, we can go down the list from St. Lucia, who is battling with in-between lockdowns, partial lockdowns and full lockdowns. We mentioned St. Vincent having their 4th COVID-19 related death. Not only that, but Barbados is battling with what they are considering now a 3rd wave. And of course, Trinidad and Tobago, despite experiencing such difficulties, have said that they are not, under any circumstances, they don't plan to lock down. Different strokes for different folks, but at the end of the day, COVID-19 is definitely taking its toll on the lives of persons and the livelihood, and we continue to monitor the very unfortunate situation.
I think, Ron, really and truly, hearing these types of statistics, it really takes me back to when the Caribbean and Caribbean islands made a decision to open their borders. Now, seeing what we see now today, the numbers that the BVI have in comparison to other islands in the Caribbean, do we think of the persons who felt as though we were not opening fast enough?
Great question. Yeah.
Would we take that back?
Well, the question has always remained lives or livelihood, money or whether we're going to toss up the economy or whether we're going to put lives. And I think that at the end of the day, there's essentially no right or wrong answer. But what we see is that while the lives in the territory, and we're thankful for the decision making that have been placed by the local governors and the Foy-led administration, their ability to close the borders in the time frame that they have and continue to monitor it, even now that our borders are partially open, we do see where there is a significant control. And thankfully, we have received some 8,000 vaccines that would contribute to curbing the COVID-19 vaccine. But that's a very good question, and I don't think that any world leader, not only locally, but regionally and internationally, have the answer. It is literally a toss-up. Are you going to put your life at risk or your livelihood? And we see where either or persons are finding a problem with it, because at the end of the day, looking at our economy here in the Virgin Islands, we've suffered quite a bit when it comes to the livelihood of persons and small businesses. So it's something that we have to continue to monitor, but also in the final analysis, continue to wish our officials the very best, and then also on our parts as local residents, do what we need to do to continue to protect ourselves.
Of course, now we see the vaccine now have landed in the BVI, and I think this really solidifies where we are and really begs the question, are citizens willing to take the vaccine? I think we have not been having that conversation enough here in the territory. And well, that's a great question, because we have a lot of persons who are of the opinion, they have a lot of conspiracy theories, and they personally feel as though they should not be taking the vaccine because it's not been fully tested, it hasn't been tested and tried. And then we also have persons in our community who really do think that it is of importance that they continue to consider the options. One of the things that I think is important for us as a local community to observe when we look at the vaccine, Kyla, is that we've been hearing quite a bit of that from our local politicians. But from the health aspect, we really do need persons within the health care and services department to really speak to that. So persons can become as comfortable as possible as it pertains to the option. We've been blessed to be able to receive the 8,000 vaccines. How are we going to use them, and how are we going to allow them to be of benefit to the territory of the Virgin Islands? I agree very much. So now in our last story for today, Tesla announced on Monday it has bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin has been quite a conversation for quite some time, Ron. This digital currency, we're definitely going into new times, and we see where this major auto maker is now investing into Bitcoin. Now, in a filing with the Security and Exchange Commission, The company said it bought the Bitcoins for more flexibility to further diversify and maximize returns on or cash, end quote. Now, Tesla also said it will start accepting payments in Bitcoin in exchange for its products. In a quote, they said, subject to application laws and initially on a limited basis, now end quote. That would make Tesla the first major automaker to do so. The 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin will give Tesla liquidity in cryptocurrency once it starts accepting it for payments. Now, Tesla's move into Bitcoin represents an investment of a significant percentage of its cash in the investment. The company had more than 19 billion in cash and cash equivalents on hand at the end of 2020, according to its most recent filing. Now, the moves raise question around CEO Elon Musk's recent behavior on Twitter, where he has been credited for increasing the price of the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Dogecoin by posting positive messages that have encouraged more people to buy the digital currency. Now, 2 weeks ago, the billionaire Tesla-owned added the hashtag Bitcoin in his Twitter bio, a move that helped to briefly push up the price of the cryptocurrency by as much as 20%. Now, 2 days later, he said on social media chat site Clubhouse, I do at times think Bitcoin is a good thing, and I am a supporter of Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin prices urged new highs on Monday following Tesla's announcement, reaching a price of at least $44,000. Now, Tesla shares were up more than 2% this morning. In its SEC filing, Tesla warned investors of the volatility of the Bitcoin's price. Now, Musk has gotten into trouble for his market-moving tweet in the past, but it's unclear how that applies to his tweet about cryptocurrencies. Most notably, with the SEC charged Musk with fraud in 2018 for his tweets about taking the company private at $420 per share. That's Tesla it is. Now, Musk ultimately settled with the SEC and was forced to give up his role as chairman of the company's board and paid $20 million fine on top of another $20 million fine for the company itself. So we see where Musk has been in some trouble with the SEC as it pertains to shares and market shares. But I think the conversation around Bitcoin is very interesting. I think the world in general is moving towards a new way of living, and I think we have to keep up with the conversation.
Well, Kyla, the phenomenon that is the Bitcoin investment has taken on a life of its own, and we continue to see where persons who are, some are in support, some are not, but at the end of the day, I think it really channels and really charts the way forward and beckons and challenges as well the way we do investments, not only locally but regionally as well, making sure that the playing field is level and that all persons are getting a equal opportunity of investment. So we're going to continue, viewers, to keep you posted on that.
Most definitely. Now, viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com and like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram as well as Twitter. It is always my pleasure. I am Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
And I'm Ron Grant. We will, of course, see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. We're 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Happy Monday, everybody. Have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.